On behalf of the Seattle Asian American Film Festival, I would like to welcome the cast and crew from the Paper Tigers film, who is kindly joining us remotely for a Q&A. Thank you all so much for sharing your film and joining us for a conversation. So first of all, could y'all go around introducing yourself, your name, your pronoun, and your role in the film? Let's just start with Bao.
Seattle, we're coming home. My name is Bao Tran, writer director of the Paper Tigers. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope this will be entertaining and you don't leave the parking lot just yet.
What's up, guys? My name is Alain Uy. Identify as male, he, him. I played the role of Danny. Hope you guys enjoy the film.
What's up? My name is Mykel Shannon Jenkins. I play the role of Jim, and I know you're gonna enjoy the film, flat out, straight up, period.
Confidence, I love it. Confidence, man. I should have done that too.
I got you, homie. I got you, brother.
Ron,
Okay. Hey, I'm Ron Yuan, he, him, and I play Hing on the Paper Tigers, and thank you for having us.
Hey, how's it? I'm Yuji Okumoto, and I am one of the producers of the Paper Tigers. Enjoy the film.
So this is actually going on after the film.
Oh,
sorry.
That's all right.
Hope you enjoyed the film.
Hope you guys enjoyed the film. That's what I should have said.
First of all, how does it feel having this film played in Seattle? It's been a year and a half since this was recorded and everything here, kind of like a homecoming. So, what are some thoughts about being played here?
SAAFF has always been our home. Yeah, I mean, we've always been huge supporters of the fest, and the fest has been huge supporters of our film, even during when we were doing our Kickstarter back in the day. So it's great to come home and especially have our Seattle premiere with SAAFF. It's cool. I think it's we wanted to obviously kind of do a lot of justice and tribute to the city that we shot in, and hope we did it right. And basically just try to tell the story of our town, which is through our people. And hopefully there you can see some nuggets of all the locations that we shot in, and hopefully buy a ticket when we have our theatrical release, and then spend that second time watching, and then you can track down all the locations that we shot in. And then maybe buy a third ticket again, just in case you didn't get all the locations, and make sure you get it all right.
Great. Yeah. So I like to ask this question to everyone, all the filmmakers, but what inspired you to make the film or get involved with this project?
For me, I'll just be real short with all the other guys. I think it was just trying to explore that theme of kind of growing out of love with something that you spent so much time and intention and energy towards during your childhood, especially during those formative years. And then whatever happens in life, you grow up and out of them, whether it's worth coming back to and having as life lessons. So that's kind of the overall kind of theme that I wanted to explore, especially with martial arts being such a formative part of my life, but also whether those values still hold anything anymore.
Well, I'll jump in. Well, I think for me, primary goal was to get involved in this film because it had a great message, and also to create good, solid roles for minority actors. And if it happens to make a ton of money, then even better, because then we can make more films with minorities and female leads.
Well, I'm gonna tag on to Yuji and just say that had a lot to do with, other than the fact that the script was fantastic and the relationships in it just jumped off the page, an opportunity for an African American, as an African American, to be part of a union that was different in racial orientation, but like the bond, like love being like the driving power underneath it all, and just a chance to be something, a chance to actually live throughout the piece and promote something I believe in, which is like love, honor, and brotherhood. So it was a real no-brainer for me.
Alain, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was easy. It's the reason why I got involved is because who doesn't like to get his ass beat, like in every fight, right? I mean, that's the.
Well, not every
that's
fight. Not every fight, brother.
not
Not
every
everyone.
fight.
You put a little bit. You got some work in.
Thank you.
Yes,
No,
sir,
I'm joking,
yes.
but for me, I think it really. I mean, I joke, but it's really the heart of it. It's I identify a lot with the character, and this guy seems to get knocked down a lot, but we just keep moving forward, and it's trying to find the reasons why we move forward, and for the character Danny, it's really about himself and his journey. But it's the same thing with me. It's about my family too. So there's a lot of things about the story. It had a lot of heart to it. The characters were really fleshed out. And then when I found out, like, Bao was involved in his vision, I just went, yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me.
So yeah, it was actually Yuji that hit me up and said, hey man, I want you to read the script, take a look at this character Hang, and let me know what you think. And and then he said, plus you're gonna love the director because he runs his rehearsals like theater, blah, blah, and plus he's really, really hot and he looks like Andy Lau. And I was just like, I don't roll that way.
You was down for that, huh?
I'm like, I don't roll that way, but okay, all right, okay. So then, but
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad,
Got a song called that.
It was 3 out of 3. It was 3 out of 3 now. Anyway, so but seriously, no, I read the script. I loved what Bao put together, and yes, like Alain was saying, and Mykel was like, it works around this dysfunctional family that is they're just trying to find they're all trying to find their ways, and I love that exploration in the script. So that's kind of how I got involved.
Thank you. A very common theme throughout this film was, when I watched this, was family, not just biological family, but the strength of a found family and community. Can you talk about the importance of brotherhood within this genre of martial arts film that the film was inspired from, and for the Tigers that are here, how this instruct your performance and the bonds you formed on set? So I guess, can we start with Ron?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like, before I even talked about, Yuji was like, yeah, it's really important for these guys to have this chemistry and all this stuff. And like what Bao did was, before we started shooting in Seattle, we had a week of rehearsals in LA. And I think it was a great thing for them to arrange that for us, because we, all 3 of us got to know each other, and we just clicked, and not only during those rehearsals, but when we went up to Seattle, it was like when one of us just said, hey, like, you guys want to get together, like, go over the scenes, all of us were just like, yes, yes, yes. Like we clicked like a brotherhood, man. And we would always be discussing the script over food, and they would help me out because they knew I was still trying to gain weight. So I would eat like Ding Tai Fung, and I'm like, guys, come on. They're like, again? I'm like, okay, yeah. But it was just wonderful with my bros here, because they were very, very accepting and very, it's like, because you don't get that on every set. You're always going to have an asshole on set in some shows that you work, but all 3 of us, we knew we wanted to put the work in, and we wanted to like just bring everything we can to Bao's vision, because it was just a wonderful screenplay.
Thank
you. To add to what Ron was saying, I think it's not very often you get to work on a project where you can connect not only in an intellectual level, but in a spiritual and sort of emotional level with the people you work with. And this was a great way to understand what it looks like when you work in an indie film in terms of just that family structure. And even though we play pretend brothers, like you said, and the characters created, it's a chosen family for themselves. It was really fun to create the bonds that we created as just people. And we've since become really great friends. I mean, I've worked with Ron. I've said on several interviews where we worked together on another project like maybe 8 years ago, but this was my first time working with Mykel, and it wasn't instantaneous. Let's not pretend it was, because we're all coming together. We really didn't know each other that much, and I think after that first couple rehearsals, in LA, I think it was just quick, and it really is a testament to how Bao and Yuji set everything up. I mean, even the fact that we were staying in the same, like, not a hotel, but this place, and we were next door, and it felt like a dorm room. Like, it felt like, hey man, what are you doing over there? And you would come down. It was just great vibes, and on and off the set, man, it was great.
Wait, Alain, it wasn't instantaneous with you. It was for me. I mean,
Yeah, all right, maybe. We just locked eyes and that's it. No.
I mean, I'm just gonna echo the same thing that my two brothers said. I'm just for me, Bao, like, with a lot of films and a lot of projects you get involved with, you're always afraid, like, that your approach, because I tend to want to really dive in and like work all the time on it, so I can feel free and organic in the creation. So like, it was really interesting for me, because when we went to this beautiful setup Bao had, where he was letting us create this like backstory, like live it. When I first saw those two, what was beautiful was he was having improv sessions, and I definitely did not want to go first. And by the grace of God, I did not go first. And these two went up, and in about 3 minutes, I was like, oh my, like, these guys are kindred spirits. Like, these dudes were like, and Bao was like gutting it. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. At that moment, I knew that I called my wife and I was like, well, this is gonna be a classic. Like, these cats wanna make this thing magical. So like, from that moment on, just seeing their work ethic, I was wide open for these two brothers and for Bao. And just because when you watch it and you see what people are investing and you understand how much they want to make something special, then on that level of respect, anything can breed. And by the time I got there and found out how cool these cats were, and like being the only African American cat, which is kind of can be strange sometimes, it was wonderful to have like this family. I just felt really adopted, and it's changed not just my approach to like my expectation as an artist for projects I get into. He says in the studio, I'm expecting collaboration and that kind of freedom in almost everything I get my hands into, because anything can happen when you got that going. So I'm thankful and very humbled by the whole experience.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Bao or Yuji, did you want to talk about the importance of brotherhood within the martial arts film, or do you want to just go to the next question?
Well, I'll just give a quick little observation. It's amazing though that we were blessed, to have three talented lead actors as part of the Paper Tigers, and not only were we blessed to have their talent, but we were blessed to have the kind of chemistry they brought. That to me is what makes this film work, is the chemistry and the bond that these guys created even before one inch of film was rolled. It was amazing. So I just want to say thank you guys for bringing not only your talent, but being open to this kind of brotherhood and creating that world for the film.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. But because guys, I have to go, but I just want to add on top of what Yuji says. It really is like, my two brothers here, it was magical, but it wouldn't have been, it was made a lot easier because of the world that was set up by Bao and Yuji and the other producers. Yeah. They actually cared to give us the time to rehearse, to do these things, to give our take on the characters. Like, Bao encouraged that. And as an actor, Bao's an incredible actors director, and Yuji and the other producers, Alan and Dan and everyone, just like they were really, really helpful in getting us to be comfortable in our world and being able to trust everyone and trust each other. It was a beautiful thing.
Facts.
100%.
I'm sorry I
Bye,
have to
Ron.
get to another meeting, but I love you guys. Thank you, Seattle, for supporting, and I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for
Bye,
joining, Ron.
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 Be safe, boy.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of build up on that, I mean, it's really, it really makes me happy that, you know, these guys were able to bond and have a lot of this chemistry, because the backdrop is that obviously we're set this movie in Seattle, and we're very much inspired by the history of Seattle, which, you know, Bruce Lee, when he first came to the US, he landed here first, and he said his digs here, and he started his school here and his students here that were, you know, many different races, you know, and he got a lot of flack for that, for teaching non-Chinese Kung Fu. So a lot of that was kind of like a way of an homage with the film to kind of like pay tribute to that history. So, you know, for us to have these guys that are bonded and we believe them and they're friends and they're ride or die, that's the kind of tribute that we wanted to show to the community that Bruce had made here when he was in Seattle.
Thank you all for sharing. So I guess looking back now, like it's clear that there was like a very special like bond between everyone. And I remember like being on set, it was just a really fun time being a PA on set. Looking back as casting, I guess main actors, what was some of the most memorable parts of making this film?
I think for me, it was the in-between, all the stuff that was happening before they said action and after they said cut. I think just even, you know, just playing music. I just remember distinctively every morning I would show up and we would just play music and just get in some kind of vibe going on. You know, whatever it might be, it would, you know, we kind of create the soundtrack of the day or of the scene or whatever it might be. I just remember that distinctively. And also the eating, like what Ron said earlier, there was a lot of eating. There was a lot of eating. Like Ron would hit me up like in the middle of the night, hey man, you want to get some food, want to talk stuff through. I'm like, man, it's like 1 a.m, it's 2 a.m, but all right, let's do it. Like I said, it was just a lot of fun, and honestly, I miss it. I miss it a lot. I miss that vibe.
For me, it was the willingness for Bao to put up with 3 nagging, overly insecure
Oh my God.
actors who were just trying to just kidnap his movie. Like he didn't
Saint, truly a saint.
He would let us vomit everything we could out, and then he and at times just let us play it. But what I loved was you knew that he knew the vision. No matter what you were going to do, he had it so we could get those things out and never lose sight of like what he thought this movie should be. And so like that's a hell of a freedom when they let you, when the director comes in and respects your opinion, and no matter what it is, hears you out, and like we'll actually get into a real discussion about this, that you can win, like it in some points, and let you, if it's right, it all just felt like it was bigger than everyone, and everyone was letting it be as big as it needed to be, and with respect to the truth of the story that we were trying to tell. So like for me, that I've never really had that kind of freedom in exchange with, you know, directors. A lot of directors like sit behind the camera and yell out, you know, and then come over and intimidate you, and then you're like, well, maybe I should do what he just told me to. So it's that freedom I miss. I've had a couple opportunities since, and like it's rare, and it's rare when it's in the equal respect of all parties, and like and it works. And when it does, it's why you do it. You know, one thing about this experience, it just reminds me, no matter what I've gone through since, gone through up to it, this is why you do it. For a project like this is why you do it.
Thank you so much.
I think one of the best indicators is like honestly during lunch. You know, when you see everybody choose their chairs and where to sit. And, you know, it's kind of a small thing. It's a subtle thing, but you know, it's cool to see everybody mix it up. And I'd be walking by it because, you know, my lunches are kind of walking lunches because I'm working, guys, while you guys are having your mandated lunch breaks.
You never ate. I remember how many times I walked up to Bao. I will walk up to Bao. I'm like, hey, did you eat? Are you sure you ate? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything today at all.
Wow, sit up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
your
What a-
spot.
yeah, exactly. No, but I'd walk by and then I'd see the Tigers sit there, and then like every day it'd be a different conversation. One day it's like Lakers versus Celtics. Second day it would be Tupac and Biggie. Like just random conversations, but these guys are just vibing and completely debating, almost like having these lunch side debates about pop culture, art, and everything. So that one to me was like a sign of like things were working. Like they're not choosing to be friends when we roll camera. These guys are real friends beyond the camera as well. So that was cool.
Awesome.
There was a lot of debate there. The goats of the world.
I do want to say this about Seattle. I'd never been there before. I came to shoot a movie on the outskirts, but I'd never been in Seattle because I just stayed in the hotel room. And getting there and having my man, Elaine and Ron, like we went to Bruce Lee's funeral cemetery where he was buried. We saw Brandon Lee. Like we went to the museums. Like we really took in this enormous energy that the city has. It was, I've never walked anywhere as long as I walked in Seattle without fear. I was 2 miles from Ron would call you, be at a restaurant. I don't know Seattle. I'm like, I'm coming, walking, because I'm not paying no cab. So I'm walking these streets at middle of night. It's like 2 a.m, 2 miles. My wife said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm not afraid of anything here. Like, we're good. Like, and when I meet up with these two dudes, you just don't know. We really good once I get Ron over here. So like, you know about me, I'm straight, and that is a hat off to Seattle, because that 12th man, that energy, that's real. Like, and I'm a Cowboy fan. That's real. I love your city and can't wait actually to get back. I wanted to come down for this. My wife had to tell me out of it. I was like, I can put 2 masks on and some gloves and go to the airport. That ain't nothing. Rent a car and drive a little here and sit in the middle of the crowd. I want to do that. She was like, no. So here I am.
I guess this goes to my like.
No, we got a 12th man too. I mean, especially with shooting all around in an international district. Just shout out to everyone that just the community that came out and supported the film. Shout out Dynasty Room, Wing Luke, Nisei Vets Hall and Carrie, Hood Famous, Assunta Ing, bringing out snacks and Tai Tung. It was just like, and Makpai Kung Fu Club. So, I mean, it was just a real community effort. And just seeing the city show up, and they wanted to be proudly represented, and we hope we did them justice on that side too. But the city really came out, especially the ID, Chinatown really came out for us.
Thank you. And I guess this should be, we're running out of time, but I want to quickly ask, with this like vibes and stuff going on, what's the talks for a potential sequel? I remember we joked about it and stuff on set.
Those are good jokes, huh? Those are good jokes.
Well, I tell you what I'm doing. I'm praying into existence. I'm just praying on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
In fact, we're hoping Seattle help make that happen. If y'all pack that theater, they gonna call it Make Bao Right.
Let's put it this way. We got to be able to make such a big statement that people can't say no. You know what I'm saying? So when we do our theatrical release, we just got to make a big splash, and the hope is to get this as much out there and to get people wanting for it. So it's really everything's in your hands, audience. It's all your fault if we fail.
It's like we did our job. Now you got to do yours. If you really want to sequel, you gotta show up and pay up.
All right. So I guess wrapping this up, where can people follow progress on the film and everyone here's future works?
I'll just speak for the Paper Tigers. You can follow us on social media. Just go to the papertigersmovie.com, and that'll have all our social media handles. We are going to be distributed by Wellgo this year, 2021. The dates are still to be announced, but we'll be out in theaters, hopefully in a theater near you. But we'll have to kind of like see how things are going with pandemic and all that stuff. But that's the hope. We'll be out in theaters very soon, and maybe even future drive-ins and all that good stuff.
Yeah, check us out in May. That's when our release is going to be, probably in I guess with an association with the Asian Heritage Month, which is in May. Also, Cobra Kai, check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We can't skip over that. You gotta have some questions for Yuji about Cobra Kai. And
I mean, yeah. Me and Yuji have talked about it in different meetings, but yeah, could you talk about how it's like getting back into that role for Cobra Kai? Seems like a big wave of martial arts uh movies and TV shows coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucked for me because I'm old.
you know what? I thought it was a joke because he's sitting there watching, Alain, Mykel, and Ron struggle on set and playing these old guys out of shape. Cut to a month later, he's going to Okinawa doing Cobra Kai, jumping back into the fire on that one.
I'm telling you, no joke. It was funny because there's a quick fight scene in episode season 1 where Billy Zabka throws a kick and he pulls his hammy. Well, I thought that was really amusing. I thought, oh, that's really funny, man. That's cool. And what's ironic is I'm on the set shooting this fight scene with Ralph and I throw a front kick. What do? I pull my hammy. What the hell? Yeah, but it's awesome. I'm so pleased and happy to be part of the Cobra Kai world. The guys that created it, Josh and John and Hayden, they just did an awesome job with the writing, and I can't be happier with how they reprised and brought to life chosen character.
Cool. Thank you. I guess real quick, Elaine and Mykel, where can people follow what you're doing and what you're up to?
For me, go ahead, Mykel.
No, go ahead, big dog. I'm gonna come out to you.
Oh, well, you already watched me with the Paper Tigers, so you can watch me again if you want to. And then I have a show called Hellstrom, Marvel's Hellstrom, that's on Hulu. And there's a few other projects that are in the can now that should be releasing soon. So just follow me on my socials and keep up to date.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo again, my boy. You just got a sneak peek of the brother. You can follow me also by my name. Basically, is my Mykel Shannon Jenkins. No spaces in between. And I got a couple of things dropping too in about a month. So, but I'm just gonna sit back because I'm really proud of PT, and I don't want to give any energy to anything else. So I'm really excited that you guys just peep this out, spread the word, let them know when we drop in May. Listen, I'll come down there, pack a theater, I'm coming through. Let a brother know. Let my man know I'm coming. Promise that.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining in for this
Wait,
conversation.
let's plug Ron too. While he's gone, you can find Ron obviously on social media, and he's on Mulan on Disney Plus. So check him out.
Thank you for catching me, Bao, on that.
You're
so
welcome.
with that, thank y'all for tuning in and joining in. It was a pretty fun time just catching up with y'all and just hearing about what y'all are up to and talking about Paper Tigers. I know it's a really important film for Seattle. I think it was a great time to be a part of. So everyone that's tuning in from Seattle Asian Film Festival, thank you so much for joining in. We greatly appreciate your support for the festival and our community. If you've not done so, please take a moment to do the survey in your confirmation email. Those helps us get grants and sponsorships, and please check out other programs we have. You can check them out on seattleaaff.org. So on behalf of Seattle Asian Film Festival, thank you, stay safe, and stay healthy.